So, you want to hear a story, huh? Have I got a story for you? There was a legend.
Welcome back, Eternal Dragon here, and we have a crazy new build. We might even be setting a new meta here, friends. It's not just about damage, it's about survivability. You would not believe how much shield regen we have on a Deathless build. This thing is crazy, can't wait to show it to you. But first, please like, comment, subscribe, help spread this video through the algorithm with your actions. Please? Thank you so much. Now, let's do the demo, and then I'll get back to you and explain the build. So the major gimmick for this build is definitely the shield regen. Absolutely crazy. I cannot actually believe how good we got this, but I've taken us over to Parasite just so we can demonstrate really how good this is. You see we're getting hit. Let's go up. Let's just stand in front of Parasite here. This is CH100 Parasite, well known for downing people with a single shot hit. Let's just stand here. As you can see, the shield regen absolutely crazy. We are getting hit. You see the damage. He's currently using his stupid lightning tether. It's stuck to us. We are out regenning his lightning tether. So this gives you an idea of just how strong this really can be. And that's with the melee. You can see we have a lot of shield regen even without the melee. Not quite as much as with the melee, you know, that's your super duper regen hit if you really need it. But as you can see, we're also doing just a crazy amount of shield regen here. Perfect, he hit us with the tether again. You can see we're actually maintaining our shield against his lightning tether, which is actually one of the moves that I hate the most in the game. So that shield regen's pretty crazy, eh? Now, let's go over how we get that happening, and the rest of the build. First of all, we'll go over our weapons. We have a Gluttony in the first slot, fantastic for shooting and throwing. This is our main mobbing weapon, fantastic for clearing out entire zones very, very quickly, especially when combined with your Plague Storm. It is enchanted with increased damage 15% on spellcast. In our second slot, we have the Sword Explosion. Make sure you always use it in sticky mode for maximum effect. And it is enchanted with when action skill is active, that is your Plague Storm up, increases its damage by dark magic 50%. Well, it does dark magic. That's a lot of extra damage. In the third slot, we have the Cao Kan. This is the weapon that you saw at the start doing hundreds of millions of damage, and that was coupled not with the Skeep at the time, but was here with the Barbalode. You see a dark magic Blightcaller Barbalode with this Cao Kan and the Plague Storm. Hundreds of millions of damage. It was a little bit unexpected for me that it went that far, but hey, that's what we got. We do have a Cannonballer here in the fourth slot, don't worry about that, it's just for fun. You can try it out if you want to, you can get some pretty fun stuff happening, especially if you switch over to this status effect damage amulet. But even on its own, it's a pretty decent gun. This is the piece de resistance. This is our Fate Breaker in Dark Magic with Vampire. This thing does everything for shields. Because of our skills that I'll go over in a moment, we are turning Dark Magic into shield as well. The 3 Wyverns all generate shield for you when they hit, and the fact that it is a Dark Magic weapon on its own. Transferring that into our abilities. You got it, even more shield with Vampire down on the bottom, melee attacks restoring 10% of your maximum health, and Ward. That all goes into shield as well. So, this is basically the ultimate shield regen melee weapon in the game, as far as I'm concerned. Down here we have a Daemon Blight Ring to increase our status effect damage, as that will directly increase the amount of damage that we can do here with our Plague Storm. And also it's nice to get our DOT damage up a little bit with this build, as the Dark Magic DOT throwing more life to us is again even more shield regen with this build. Over here we have an ability damage ring with Dark Magic efficiency to make sure that all that Dark Magic damage that we're absorbing turns into shield and isn't just wasted. And then on top of it, the ability damage, you can see here, will increase the amount of damage that we are doing with our Plague Storm. In the shield slot, we have a Trick Mirror shield. This is just the best one that I have ever personally found. Double adaptive, meaning it has a 75% chance to reflect bullets naturally because it's a Trick Mirror, and also you get 15% to your maximum health and 33% damage resistance to the last damage type received for 4 seconds anytime you get hit by any sort of damage. This thing's crazy. It repels damage like nobody's business and super duper helps with the fact that we are a Deathless build. But take a look at our enchantments here as well, just so we don't forget. We have the on action skill start, that's when you trigger your Plague Storm, 20% additional damage of all types dealt. And then here, the enchantment, when health is below 50%, regenerate 5% maximum health per second and gain 30% damage dealt. Well, guess what? As the fact that we are Deathless, we are always below 50% life, this enchantment is always active. And that life regen goes, you guessed it, straight into the shields. So here we go with a Deathless Mantle of the Empowered Shot. It's got 1 of 1 in Lord of Edges, which is a fantastic skill. Even though you won't see it, we have it. 25% extra damage dealt, 25% damage reduction because that's on our armor. And additionally, we have 4 into Flawless Edge here, bringing that up to 42% additional damage dealt when your shield is full. This, I told you, this is super duper fun. The synergy here is just absolutely nuts. It's way too fun. Then over here we have an Iridescent Time Skip. You see, this spell has an absolutely crazy ×2 amount of damage that it deals on its DOT compared to its card damage. We've got a ×2 2-shot variant. Very, very easy to create a DOT with this spell. And of course, anything that you DOT turns into, what? Shield regen. The 2 spell charges helping you, of course, to trigger this as many times as you need to on your way through your chaos runs. So, let's go and look at the skills. We are a Graveborn Blightcaller. We are focusing on Plaguestorm yet again. I think it is just the best action skill in the game right now. From the Shadows might be just as fun, but if you're looking for damage, this is where it's at. This particular action skill, it will store up the damage that you deal, of course underneath it, and then strike down with elemental lightning bolts at your enemies. With the stored up damage, you can get crazy amplification on your damage because it is turning into ability damage. This is just a phenomenal skill. So starting over here, we have 2 out of 5 here in Mortal Vessel, wanting to increase our maximum health. That is increasing the size of our shield because of the Deathless. And you'll see also increasing the dark magic efficiency so that we can get our shield regen up even further. Going 3 out of 3 in Faithful Thralls. For all of our companions, we're getting additional 9% damage. We will be generating additional companions here, and we do have the Graveborn's built-in Lich Companion as a damage source there as well for Faithful Thralls. Under that, we have 3 out of 3 in Harvest, so that all of our companions are dealing dark magic damage, regenerating our shields even further. Over here, 2 out of 3 in Sanguine Sacrament, so that whenever we do cast a spell, you guess it, health regeneration turns into shields for us, keeping those shields full every time you cast the spell as well. A little bit of extra dark magic damage here for our spells. And then 3 out of 3 into Dark Hydra to give us more companions for actually not for casting spells. We don't have the capstone. My bad, I almost misspoke, but that is a kill skill. 60% chance on kill to generate a Dark Hydra for us. 2 points over here into Ascension, so that we can get our maximum health and spell damage up even higher. But we want that health more than we need the spell damage. And then finally, I like taking Punishment. You could put the 1 point over here, but I like to get that extra shot with the Lich Companion. I feel like it pays off. Over here on the Blightcaller side, we're taking 2 out of 5 Virulence to increase our status effect chance and duration a little bit, but 5 out of 5 Geist in the Shell, giving us 35% of our gun critical hit damage, 20% chance to generate a nice green Skull of Death. These things do a lot of additional poison ability damage for you. I always like taking 5 here. We've got 3 out of 3 here, so that every time we kill an enemy, boom, 21% of the shield instantly restored. Again, keep that shield going. We discussed this already. 42% extra damage when the shield is full. That's always. 5 out of 5 increase the poison damage here to increase our Geist in the Shell damage. That's primarily what this is for. I mean, there's not really much else that we're doing that uses it, but it is worth it to take in my opinion. And then over here, 3 out of 3 Worst Curse, increasing our spell and ability damage. Phenomenal. Every time we apply a dark magic status effect. And of course, we will be doing that almost all the time with our spell, melee weapon, or guns. Then over here, whenever we apply a poison status effect, which we will be able to do here with our Geist in the Shells, you will see that our companion damage and critical hit damage goes up. Quite a bit actually. You can apply 3 stacks of this, and our action skill cooldown rate also increases, giving us our Plaguestorm back even faster. Restore the Veil being one of the key things in the build. You gotta put a point here, turns your dark magic damage into ward restore instead of health. And that is the major key as to how we're turning all of that life regen on a 1 life build into shields. Finally, we're taking Spirit Swarm here. This is a fantastic, fantastic capstone. This thing can get higher and higher damage every time you do a bigger DOT. So it gets summoned when you apply a DOT to an enemy, and if you apply a bigger DOT, it gets resummoned bigger and stronger. Now over here, I'd just like to point out on this armor that the area damage is just like a god roll for this as well. We do actually have a little bonus coming off here in Spirit Swarm with area damage. I'm not sure why that happens, but you get area damage bonuses, Spirit Swarm does more damage, so you figure that one out. I haven't been able to figure out what part of the damage formula that truly falls under, but it works. Over here into our hero points, you will see that we have 52 out of 52 in strength, absolute max that you can get there. Then we just left a little bit of points here for dexterity. I think we dropped like 1 or 2 there, not too much. Nothing here intelligence, cranking up the wisdom to increase the damage that we can do with our Plague Storm. And then we put the rest down here into attunement to bring that Plague Storm back faster. Finally, over in the myth rank, I have decided I'm going to try to stop spending points here. I really hate the screen clutter of having it say points to spend. I hate it. I hate it. It's right there on the bottom. It bothers me so much. But I'm not going to spend any more. We're at myth rank 1087, and I just feel like anything else is just going to be crazy. We're going to leave it there. So that is it for the build, folks. Thanks for sitting through and listening to me talk. I know you're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Like I said, this might be a whole new meta for us. Crazy, crazy shield regen, still doing hundreds of millions of damage, and pretty much immortal. So one last thing to demonstrate for you guys just before we are done, and this is for anyone who made it to the end of the video. This is one of those tricks that I've showed off before, but I want to show it to you again. Having a sacrificial skeep allows you to do things like this. And we're back. See, the Dagger Storm killed the skeep the instant that it was summoned by my life bar changing by me going into Save Your Soul. It summoned the skeep, and then the Dagger Storm killed the skeep, and we were right back up. So the Gluttony is not a scary weapon to use. I have a lot of fun with it. If you accidentally nuke yourself with it, if you're wearing the Skeep Amulet, boom, instant regen. And it is just another nice thing to have on the build if you want to do that extra little bit of coming back from the dead. Otherwise, you can be running a Barbalode, you can be running any of these other amulets. It's all good. They're all fantastic. Extra shield capacity and shield regen there if you feel like you need it. So thanks for watching the video, folks. Can't wait to see you next time. Happy gaming.
Flexing with style and mad skills, like my name was Eternal Dragons, gameplay and builds. So come get your fill, cause you paying the bill. The conflict's critical, situation real. I'm a pop, I'm let it rock, those mark, old school 360 like an Xbox, make it hot. What you got, gonna give me a rod? I'ma watch my watch as I watch you fly. Slowing down my lyrics for a minute.